Assess skills now to step up the day. And this is really going to dive into our mental skill assessments and what we're doing with Sevwins and how we're really trying to encourage athletes to pause and reflect on their day, really assess their mental skills. So as we've talked about before, weekly direction for the athlete mind is a 7-day cadence that Sevwins tries to enforce and try to drive into the minds of the athletes to become more strategic thinkers. So we start off on Monday morning at 8 a.m. with weekly goals. After that, they have what we call daily mental skill assessments. And that's what the athletes will be doing on a regular basis using the app. And that is every day. And then finally, to cap the 7-day cadence, we have a weekly reflection. So Sevwins is really broken down into setting goals and doing reflections daily as well as weekly to learn from experiences. Throughout that entire process, coaches have complete access to the athlete mindset. And we really try to distill down the information that athletes are providing into the system around growth mindset to make it easier for coaches to digest and provide mentorship and direction to their athletes. So let's dive into it. As we talk about the daily mental skill assessments, the first one is what we call LOCK. And LOCK is really about concentration. It's really focused on how well am I concentrating now? And that's one of the benefits of the app is the app will send out a notification to the athletes at 12 o'clock at lunchtime, and it will trigger them to pause and think about a couple main elements, in this case, LOCK, and do their daily assessment to find out how they've been concentrating today. We've received a lot of feedback from our athletes that this is specifically helpful with a lot of the at-home learning that we're going through right now. But this takes and really tries to create an environment where the athlete pauses and reflects on how well they've been concentrating. And that allows them to think about how can they make improvements for the rest of the day. But this is a snapshot in time right now. So they do rank themselves between dull and sharp, and it is a 5-star rating system that will become really beneficial on the back end that will show to the coaches as well. And the athletes can see their trends as well. They can also see their score yesterday. In this case, they were 5. Today, there are 3. They're concentrating well, but they've had a little bit of lack of focus there. The next one is block. So how well am I blocking out distractions? And this is really about, am I able to separate areas of life, and am I focused on living in the moment and being in the moment at that time? And we all know for athletes that sports and games and matches are all about that specific moment in time. So becoming really good at understanding where your feet are and being critically focused on the things that you're working out and blocking out all the other things that could be distractions and aren't relevant in that moment is really where athletes begin to excel. And so we use the other 20 hours where they're not at practice or at a game to help them fine tune that mental skill. So just like just like LOCK, they do rank themselves from dull to sharp. And they can also see their score yesterday. So again, 12 o'clock, they assess and reflect how they're doing around blocking out distractions and think about ways to move forward and do things differently if they've got a lower score and lower rating and lower output than they'd like to have. So this is about how well am I communicating? And it's a snapshot in time to look at, am I listening with intent? Am I speaking clearly? Do I have good body language? Those are the things we're really trying to get the athletes to pause and think about how they're doing at that snapshot and that point in time at 12 o'clock and before that time. It also allows them to separate what they've been doing and look at ways to improve and focus on areas of communication moving forward for the rest of the day. And then the final one is really energy it could be also described as drive. And this is really about how well am I attacking the day? Am I attacking challenges? Am I avoiding challenges? And really depicting, because energy level a lot of times it's really about a feeling, and we can give 100% of whatever we have. And so energy is about trying to reflect and think about how well I've been getting after it throughout the day. Am I being productive? Am I being a valuable citizen? Am I being a good son? Am I being a good friend or good daughter? Those are the things we want athletes to pause and think about. At that point in time, they have an opportunity at 12 o'clock to think, hey, I'm gonna reset myself and get after the rest of the day. And that's really what this is about, is just pausing and reflecting on the rest of the day. So those are the 4 main areas. We have LOCK for concentration, block for blocking out distractions, TALK for communication, how well am I doing there? And then finally, energy for attacking the day. So they're very simple prompts. These things can literally take 20 seconds, but the value is really in the athlete pausing to think about those 4 main mental skills, which you'll end up doing every day. The power of the app is it allows the coaches to see on the right-hand side. You can actually see some of the charts. We'll dive into them here in a little bit. But the coach can start to see at a team level what the mental skill assessments look like. One of the powerful areas might be energy. If energy is down, and as a coach myself, I'll look at this before practice or as I'm starting to plan practice, maybe energy is down. Maybe there's overall, maybe the growth mindset charts and these mental skill assessments are trending down overall. Do I need to look at ways to modify practice to make it more engaging for the athletes? Maybe I don't dive too deep on more of the skill development aspects, and we work on making it a little more fun while we're getting things done. The other one might be the energy's up, so maybe we can push them a little bit harder at practice. So it's just a really good way to see where the athletes fit and what they've been working on and how their mindset has been to that point in time in the day. Obviously with SevWins, you see all the goals and reflections. As I dive into the actual mental skill assessments, so in this particular case, I'm looking at Deanna Bryce. I clicked on her name in the middle screen, and now I can see the lock, block, talk, and energy details for Deanna Bryce. This gives me a quick view into what the trends are over the last 3 days compared to the 30-day average. And for example, you can see in that top box with the horizontal line in lock is that she's been pretty steady around lock. I can also look at block and see that her ability to block out distractions is trending up. Her ability to communicate is trending down, and her energy is trending up. So I can dive into each and one of those details and really see, what the trigger points are. And it also is a great opportunity to drive conversation, both in the sense that we can see upward trends. So what's different today than yesterday, or what's different in the last 3 days over the previous 3 days, from an energy standpoint or any one of these areas. And if they're trending down, what's different? What's going on? Just some quick questions that will show the athlete that you care and show that you're helping mentor them to get the most out of themselves. And then the final one is, again, I can see all the goal trends, but the power of the lock, block, talk is the reflection ability and giving the athletes the opportunity to really just pause at lunchtime and think about their day so far and reset themselves or continue to get more of those wins that they've already been getting. On the backside, you have the coach view. It's really pretty powerful. One thing we try to continue to talk about is this concept of uniting the athlete support network. And we have an element or a feature within the app that we call MindPrint. And MindPrint allows the athlete to subscribe their parents, their crazy uncle, their other family members that they look as mentors that are always kind of there in the corner and giving them direction and giving them support. It could be their specialist coach. It could be their trainer. It could be their strength and conditioning coach if you're at that level, to where they can automatically send their MindPrint to their support network to show what they've been working on. So they can see the read, train, and give goals. They can also see the trends of the daily mental skill assessments for lock, block, talk, and energy. So it's really designed to keep everybody on the same page and continue to support that athlete in a healthy manner, and just make sure we're all united on that front.